Thank you, Crystals. Thank you so much. You're so nice. Anime, what do you say? What's it going to be today? Marianne is in the house. Welcome to Dan and Minnie's Journey. Dan's here, engineer and host, pulling the levers, pushing the buttons, trying to re engineer my life. You might hear Man Minnie in the background. She's struggling today. I don't know what's going on. Also, the air conditioning is going full blast. It's already 120 degrees Fahrenheit here. Mark Dean, Game Vlogs is here. Mark, welcome, welcome, welcome. Team Salute, Manalo is in the house. Oi, my own buntag. Oh, I scared myself again. It's always a shock when I see myself on camera. Run downstairs and grab my 7-Eleven coffee from City Cafe. Yummy. It ain't so bad. Let me see if I could pin my my invite to the stream. Y'all know I'm technically challenged. Self-worth or net worth? What's important to you? On today's Dan and Minnie's Journey. Yes, indeed. That's what we'll be talking about. Is it health or wealth for you, Crystals? What is in your future? Yeah, okay, I pinned it. All right, so I now have intro music going. Good morning, Tim. How are you? How's everything in Pampanga, Angeles City? Let's all go to the mall and have Denny's all-you-can-eat pancakes for breakfast. All right. I didn't have my external speaker going, so I didn't bring that. So Man Minnie and I are coming to you live from Cebu, La Hogue, I think they call it. We're located right next door to the Jolly Bee and upstairs from the 7-Eleven. How convenient! Laurice is in the house. The Philippines' most eligible bachelorette and socialite, and also a mighty fine person, if I do say so myself. Of course, I only have mighty fine people that come into my live stream. So, oh my goodness gracious. Where do I get this stuff? I steal it from others. Where do I get this line? Well, where do I get the lines from? I steal them from other people, of course. Denny's will open sometime in June, but I thought Tim, you said it was going to open in May. I was all, I was salivating. I want an American Grand Slam. I want real pancakes. I want real pancakes with real maple syrup. Sir Tim. Larry is here. Larry, quite contrary. How's that PayPal thing working out? I saw the video. I'm not sure what to make of it. I always worry about, being scammed and having all my money taken away from me. I'd rather spend it all myself than have somebody get it for free, No, but somebody who hasn't worked a day in their life scamming me out of my money. But that is convenient because that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about health or wealth, self-worth or net worth. What's important to you? Oh, by the way, before we get started with all that, I want to talk about the ride in, the journey in. So some of you have seen the new video. If you haven't, go in there and take a look. And there are parts of it where my lips aren't syncing with the voice. Blah, 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 blah. But it's okay. I decided, what the heck? I didn't want to, I don't want to hassle trying to sync up the voice. It's too much work. Too much work, and I'm retired. So I went ahead and posted the video anyway. But aside from that, you get an idea of what the trip over here to Cebu, Lahug, Cebu was all about. Fast ferry, and I do mean fast. And then so what happened was, in the beginning, I'm showing you that bus, right? So when we first get there, some guy's yelling at us, not yelling at us. He's saying, come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. The bus is getting ready to leave, for Ormo. And we're well known over there at the transportation center because we take a lot of trips. And so besides that, it's a very, very small town. It's a very, very small town. You really have to behave yourself if you're living here in Bye City Leyte. Because if you don't, everybody's going to know about it. They're going to know about it within seconds. But anyway, I hear him yelling out in Visayan, man, Minnie and Sir Dan are here. Stop the bus. And okay, so I look over, right, and I see the rickety old bus. And I'm like, so we get on there. And then the guy's looking over at me and saying that, well, you guys have a lot of luggage. You're going to have to pay for 3 people because you're going to be burning up a seat. So I'm looking over at him. I'm looking at Man Minnie. I'm like, there's nobody here. There's nobody on the bus. There's nobody on the rickety old bus. And it's going to be a 2-hour ride to Ormoc because we're stopping in every barangay along the way. Oh, so he starts laughing. We love your sense of humor, Sir Dan. I go, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. I look over at Man Minnie and I say, let's get off of this thing. Let's get off of this thing. I'm not interested in taking this rickety old bus to Ormoc. Let's wait for the metro. So in the meantime, the metro will be there within minutes. But as Man Minnie knows, I'm a very impatient person. So I'm looking around and I'm going, I see the van getting ready to go, the 15-passenger van. And I say to Man Minnie, go over there and see how much it is to take the van to Ormoc. See how much it is. She comes back. She says, "Oh, it's 100 pesos each, which is the equivalent of about $2. So that would be myself and Minnie would be $4 or 200 pesos." And then I say, "Wait a minute. I've done this before. Dodger Blue, how are you? Hope the skies are nice and blue in sunny Southern California." Not. So anyway, I'm having a little sunshine joke there for Dodger Blue who stepped into the chat. All right, so now here's what happens. But I know better because I've taken the van before. They go hecka fast. If they're going 1 kilometer under 80 kilometers, I'd be surprised. Small children are not safe when the van is hanging around. When the van is making its way down the main highway, make sure that you watch your children. So anyway, oh my goodness gracious, I'm having so much fun with myself. Folks, so I tell Man Minnie, they pack you in like sardines. So go over there and tell them that we're willing to pay extra for an extra seat, and then we'll pile the luggage there. But at least that will mean that we'll be comfortable, and then we'll be in the back, right? So I keep trying different things when I take these vans. I've taken them a couple of times. Each time, right, I'm taking my life. We're taking our life into our own hands. Each time you have to do the sign of the cross and say the Hail Mary or please, dear Lord, keep us safe on this journey. Amen. And so most of the people, by the way, when they get in that van, they're doing the same thing. I hope I don't die today. So anyway, let me carry on with the story before I get sidetracked once more. Menge's in the house. Team salute. All right. So anyway, I'm kind of adjusting to this chair. Most of you know because I mentioned on my live, I've got a pimple, in the crack of my ass. It isn't quite healed yet, but it's healing up. I forgot to put down a cushion, so that it doesn't cause me great discomfort while I'm doing this. But anyway, so off we go. They take our 300 pesos gladly. They give us the third seat. We got all our stuff crammed in there. And then I have to deal with this speed, right? And the fact that I erred when I took the last 3 seats in the van, because this is a 15-passenger van. And need I say that the shocks are not in very good shape. So let's see. I see we have a special guest in the house. Whoa, it's a mystery guest.
Yes, sign in, please.
Anyway, so here's the story. So we're in the back now. Guess what happens? Now what ends up happening is we're in the tail end of it, and the tail end is like a bobtail truck, right? It's going ka-thunk, 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 ka-thunk. And so here I am. In the van, just like this, and then I'm trying to fire up my phone so I could take some video out the window, and then I realized that the window hasn't been cleaned in a week or a month, or I don't know what, but it's got so much dirt caked on there I could barely see out. So I was looking over at Man Mini, and I was like, Man Mini, yeah, I said that, Man Mini. I don't think this is going to be a very comfortable trip. But we're sailing. I mean, we're moving so fast down the open road that I know it's only going to take us like 45 minutes, which normally would have been a 2-hour ride on that rickety old bus. But they were mean to me. They were mean to us. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We get there safely, right? So the next challenge is getting over there to the fast ferry, the Ocean Jet, in order to get tickets. And so we go over to the Ocean Jet, and the only tickets that are left are upstairs in the outdoor section, which is fine. We're going to save a few ducats. I usually, Man Minnie and I, we like to travel first class, and so we were going to go up. We were going to go up in the rich people area, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I tell Minnie, get the tickets and let's go enjoy outdoor living. Well, so now on the ride over, Crystals, by the way, you PM'd me. It was like you were there, or Anime. I think Anime and Crystals. Somebody was making a comment about, how you're going to go like this over the water really fast. Well, I don't know if you've been. There's a difference between the Super Cat and the Ocean Jet. I think the Super Cat is a smaller boat, and so it gets over the water, right? But it gets you where you need to go, but it doesn't get you there very fast. They kind of take it a little bit easy. For example, it's usually a 2 to 2.5 hour trip from Ormoc over to Cebu. So you see, it's easy. It's relatively easy, shall I say? It's relatively simple to get from Bye Bye City Leyte to Ormoc to Cebu. It's not a big deal. Just kind of like going to the 7-Eleven to buy yourself a donut and a cup of coffee. It's just like down the street. I'm getting used to it. It's no big deal. So anyway, but when you're talking about taking the rickety old bus, stopping in every barangay, then I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just that I just don't want to spend 2 hours on the rickety old bus. So you have two choices after that. There's the Metroliner. Everybody knows the Metroliner. Big, comfortable, modern buses like Greyhound in the United States. And we're waiting for that. And then all of a sudden we see the van. I said, hey, I haven't taken the van in a long time. And now I know why. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. It's because I don't want to die an unnatural death. That's why I don't want to die. I would rather die in my sleep than die because the van tried to avoid hitting it. Yeah, tried to avoid hitting a small puppy or a child, and it overturned several times, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Mark is in the house. Hi, Mark.
Yes, he
I know
is.
you've been around. Hi, Mark.
Beth is in the house as well.
Beth is here. Anyway, you don't want to be on Larry, if there's some advice, solid advice that I could give you, just to avoid the vans and just take the long way around. It's only a few extra minutes if you wait for the Metro bus.
I'm with you. I think I would rather have the Metro bus, because it's larger, it's air conditioned, better seats from everything I hear.
The seats are very comfortable.
That's what I've
They're
heard.
very comfortable.
And this fat old man would prefer comfort. I'm sorry. And you mentioned the PayPal.
Yeah.
Today, believe it or not, somebody tried to scam me again from PayPal. This time they sent me an email, and they got the PayPal account logo at the top, and said somebody was buying like Bitcoin, but it was Coinbase Global. It was making a purchase, your order of Bitcoin exchange. And so I didn't do it. So I called, not the number they had listed. I looked up the PayPal number and called and gave them the information. And they said, no, that's not us, sir. Your account, nothing on your account.
Yeah, it's a pain. I'm getting those stupid phishing emails all the time. Your account has been suspended. Your account has been suspended. Please contact us ASAP. And then I'm like, oh, well, there are main companies out there. I don't have to use PayPal. Oh, by the way, you're reminding me. Somebody today is going to win coffee and donuts with Dan. Now, here's how this works. If I'm reading the comments as you're going by, and if you put a smile on my face, you have a pretty good chance of course, everyone in the chat puts a smile on my face. But if you, but I mean, we got some very witty people. We got some witty people in the chat. You're ineligible, Tim, by the way. You're always fact checking me. You're ineligible. But anyway, it's a chance to win 100 pesos. You don't have to buy a coffee and a donut with it. You can buy fruits, or something, if you're one of those healthy living kind of people.
They don't belong in my chat. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. If you're into healthy living, well then, go ahead, enjoy your cauliflower snack.
Elvie's here.
Oh, Larice Resurrection's here. Elvie is in the house. Beltran, one of my favorite people, is here. All right, so now, let's see, where am I with it? All right, so anyway, we get here. All right, so I'm like, we get here just fine. Everything is fine. But on the ocean jet, this thing hit some rough water about midway between Ormoc and Cebu. And so we're doing this. We're just going, pa-pa, 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 pa-pa. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like, a Filipino operator of either a 15-passenger van or a fast ferry to get your blood moving in the morning. I mean, they don't care if it's rough seas. They got a job to do. They gotta get you over to Cebu, and they gotta get you there on time. So this dude, Mr. Sailor Man or Miss Sailor Woman, who is operating this fast ferry, Yeah, probably we're watching reruns of
Hey,
Popeye on
sis, how you doing?
they crank it up, and then they have the crew come out and put the water shield canvas things down so that people don't get wet. They don't get splashed with seawater as they're making their way across the ocean, the deep water channel. I found this to be terribly amusing. By the way, while I'm thinking about it, it's hard to find canvas here in the Philippines. I don't really know why, but canvas is mildew proof, and that's the reason why they use canvas. So it'll keep the majority of the water from splashing on you. That's why they use canvas for different things, you know. Some even use it for tents. But if you put your finger there, right? If you poke your finger in the canvas tent, the water is going to drip on you. Why do you folks constantly need to be testing that theory? Why is it that you need to constantly be trying to poke your finger there just to see if it's true or not? Sess is in the house. Hi, Sess.
Yeah.
So nice.
Elvira, Elvie said that they say manifestations are legit. I'm manifesting the donuts to come to me.
Who said that?
Elvie.
Elvie said the donuts come to me. Elvie, I don't know, Elvie. Would you really use that to go get yourself donuts, especially from a Dunkin' Donut? Everyone knows the Bavarian cream is my favorite. And Every Man Repeats a Story is in the house. Every man repeats a story, repeats a story, repeats a story, repeats a story is here. The CEO of the Thornton Yacht Company is in the house. For some reason, that amuses me, you know? I don't know why. Listen, I have childhood dreams that I would like to fulfill. I have childhood dreams. Mine are all being fulfilled. That's the difference between Mark Thornton and myself. No.
The difference between me and
I do apologize, Mark.
Living the nightmare.
You know, we share like 15 or 20 Facebook friends. I do apologize, Mark Thornton. I'm just having a little fun at your expense. After all, he did avoid, like the kiss of death, he avoided regular guy interview after promising to interview him. He avoided him. I would not avoid regular guy. He's just a regular guy. I would love to interview a regular guy. And then afterwards, after he was rejected by Mark Thornton, you see him boarding the bus going north. He's going to San Carlos, where Sunshine Shoulders Calvin, one of the finest human beings on the planet, offers to allow him to stay in his guest house. Calvin, you're a stand-up guy. Calvin realizes that regular guy is no threat to anybody. Regular guy is not a threat. So, anyway. Oh, I wish. Listen, if my dream were to become a CEO of a yacht company, I would be the CEO of a yacht company. That's just the way it is. I know nothing about yachts. But I would be the CEO. Hey, you, move that yacht over there. Hey, you. I would make a fine CEO. Anyway, all right, where were we? All right, so that's the story about getting to Cebu. Now, we made it here safely and alive. Alive is the key there. Alive, and so now we get a taxi, and then we're heading over. We get a meter taxi from the port. Believe it or not. Now, I'm not a fan of grabbing cabs from Pier 1 because you got the cab boys and all these guys running up to you, trying to get into your pocket, which is okay. It's okay. It doesn't really bother me that much, except when you have 100 people coming up to you all at one time, saying, "Cab, sir, cab, sir."
How you doing?
And really the way it works there at Pier 1, Seth and a few of you know this because you've been over there, is that they escort you. If you end up hooking up with one of them, they escort you over to an unmetered private taxi who will take you to your destination for 500 or 600 pesos.
Now, a
Well,
bargain
I
price.
know.
They won't use the meter.
Yeah, I know my way around Cebu. I know my way around. I know that I just have to go up a couple of blocks and I just grab a Jeep and the Jeep is going to take me where I need to go. But we're carrying a bunch of stuff because we're carrying it over to the apartment that we rented. And so I'm not so interested yesterday in I want to get over and make sure everything goes smoothly, get the key cards for the apartment so that we can settle in. Seth is saying she experienced it, yeah. And so anyway, it's a big hassle, so I just ignore them. And then I just keep walking. Right, so Seth knows. I mean, you have to just ignore them and keep walking. I mean, sometimes I guess you could go with a stranger. Seth, would you go with a stranger? I don't know. Maybe you'd go with a stranger. I'm not going to say that I've never done it. I've probably done it once or twice in my life. But anyway, so I go down to the main street, Max Alam or something like that. We walk over. It's only a 5-minute walk. We end over at Max Alam or something like that, some street like that. And I just wait for a metered cab to come by, and I just wave them down. And then Minnie and I get in. We already have it up on our GPS where we want to go. We just show the cab driver the GPS address and looks at it and says, "Oh yeah, I know where you guys want to go." And boom, jets us off to the MIT residential apartment. So anyway, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I don't play, Larry. I don't play. It's first class or no class for me. So anyway, yeah, I know. My YouTube channel is going nowhere. I'm too wealthy. So listen, that's what we're here talking about today. It's all relative, folks. By the way, the key point here about health or wealth is it's all relative. For example, if Steve Jobs were here, I'd be trying to get an interview with Steve Jobs. Steve, what is more important to you, health or wealth? Unfortunately, he's dead. Unfortunately, he died at a very young age, a very wealthy man.
I'd rather have my health.
Yeah, I'm afraid of strangers too, Seth. I really am. All right, so every man repeats the story. Says I've done it with strangers many times. Dan, listen, we're not talking about your sex life, every man. We're not interested in hearing about your sexual escapades at all. So anyway, here's the thing. Hey, I'm on a roll, right, Larry? I'm on a roll.
Movie is very good.
Oh my goodness! All right. So yeah, I figure if you're in Cebu, you got to do what the Cebuanos do. You got to wear lupia shirts. All right. Where was I? Oh, health or wealth. So anyway, whether you have enough money to do something else is relative. And so we like this apartment, this particular studio apartment, and I'll do a video on it, because number one, it's clean as a whistle. That's number one. Clean is important. It's got great water pressure. It has all the things you need. I'm talking hot water, great water pressure, bum gun. The building's only 3 years old. I find out that it's 10 stories tall, 10 stories, and that the owner lives in a residential house that they built on the top floor. So now everybody knows where I'm at, but if you're driving down in Cebu, you'll know Lahug. If you're driving down the main road, the main highway, the main street here in Lahug, next to the Jollibee, you're going to see a 10-story building. On the very top is the oddest thing that you've ever seen. It is a single family residence on the top. Now, if you watch my chat, you know me. You know that I have to. I have to live here. I have to live in this building. And then all the rooms are indoor. There's no sunlight except for the exterior units. There's no sunlight hitting these apartments. It's all accessible through security on the lower floor. Right as you come in and you pass through the 7-Eleven, you then have to make your way past the security guard. He waves you through. You go to the elevators, and we go up to the 6th floor. That's where this apartment is. All for the spectacular monthly rate of $240 American, which is the equivalent of 13,000 pesos, which happened to be the sweet spot for Dan. So
that would be sweet for me. Oh, by the way, we do have a couple in here that don't have blue jackets, so I don't know how often they come. We got BFA OFW official. Now, I know ABCM channel's been here more than once.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I gave a jacket. BFA is here. We're glad to have you.
And like I said, ABCM channel, I know was in at least the last one before this.
Oh, absolutely. ABCM is a great supporter of the channel, and they're in. I give them a jacket. And okay. BFA OFW official is jacketed. All right. So now, thanks for that housekeeping tip. Now, so anyway, so you come in and you've got the ceramic floors that are like wood tile. I'll do a video on this. It's my next one coming up.
That's the one I want to see.
Let's see. You've got a teeny tiny 32-inch television set that isn't a smart TV, unfortunately. So I was trying to cast my YouTube channel to the TV set, and I realized that I have to go out and I have to buy a HDMI plug today, a cord. A very long HDMI cord. So we're going to have to go and get a cord today so that we can hardwire the computer up to the TV set. And that way, we can watch all our favorite YouTube superstars, myself included, a YouTube superstar in the making. Yeah.
I can watch the YouTube on my TV, but I don't have a way of commenting if I'm watching it on my TV.
I thought that as long as you had internet and was hooked up to the internet, then you could.
Yeah, so I got the internet, so I get the YouTube channels, but I don't know how to hook up where I can comment on it. I can give the thumbs up or thumbs down, but you know how you can comment after it's over with? I don't see a way of doing that, but I can also interconnect my phone to it, and I might be able to do it that way if I want to make comments. I haven't tried that yet.
Every man repeats his story as saying, I never thought I would find religion, but finally at 69, I have, no pun intended. Praise the Lord. No. Praise the Lord.
Oh, Leonard's here. Hello, Leonard.
Yeah, I'm trying to add him to the stream, but there he is. Okay. Leonard's in the house. Leonard Lund. All right, so now, of course, as you know, I'm a believer in all faith. In all faith. In fact, if I were to make a T-shirt, and it would be a one-liner. It would be a T-shirt that has YouTube that says, "Welcome to Dan and Minnie's journey. Have faith." And so there you go.
Hello, Larice.
All right. So, but born and raised Catholic, that Catholic thing stays with you your entire life, no matter what. It stays with you your entire life. So now the topic today is health or wealth. Neon's in the house. Neon Torres.
Yeah, she says it's me, Mabel. You're using my husband's account because I'm home, just finished my weekly push-up. So hello, Mabel. How you doing?
Hey, Mabel.
So I did my daily push away. Jim. I did my daily push-ups also.
Yeah. Pushaways are good.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to silence mine for a minute. I got a phone call coming.
It's probably from PayPal, Larry.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Leonard?
Yeah, she's
Pretty
in
good.
Ashland.
Pretty good.
So here's the whole point. I keep seeing that people put these memes and
Oh,
things.
that's
Is that
what
how you
she
say
said.
it,
She said
memes?
they're in
On
Ashland.
Facebook,
Well, she texts me, and
the whole Stitch.
I
You
told
know
her to
the
let me know when she
Stitch
gets to Terry.
Oh,
thing
yeah. Yeah.
Which
that
will be
they post
tomorrow.
on Facebook. Larry's doing it all the time, right? I would
I
never
get it.
do
I
it.
forward. I post them too.
Do you
Or I
post them?
share them.
Okay, so
I share them too. Yeah.
Well,
so I've seen it.
like I said, I haven't.
I have
When
seen
I
a
find
few of
out
those.
tomorrow what's
Hey,
going on,
hey,
I'll
you're
either
not
book
muted. You're
or
not
not.
muted. We can hear your entire conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we know your entire time. Well, now we know who you're dating. Hey, so
Yeah, I'm
Leonard,
here.
so a couple of those, they're designed. See, here's the dilemma. This is where I get the idea
I'm
doing a live stream talking about health or wealth. Because it
I'm
crossed
ready to
my
go.
mind by
Just gotta
reading
wait
them that
till I
there's the
know
I
possibility
still
that
hear
those
you.
whether or
Still
not I
hear you,
really need
Larry.
to. Carla's going to let me know tomorrow.
well, we
I
can still
told the
hear you.
office- I already told the office
We can still
that
hear
I
you.
may have to split for home
How do I
tomorrow, and
mute
do
them?
the
I
uh,
don't know. You should
Okay, I
have
just
a
did.
way
I got it.
like
I
that.
got it. All right, you're muted. I muted you, Larry. So I was talking about when I'm reading these things, right? How the thought crossed my mind that some of them are meant to keep you enslaved. Some of them are meant to keep you poor. Health is as important as wealth, would be my saying.
Yes.
Health is as important as wealth.
Actually, health is more important than wealth.
Well, that's what people keep saying.
I think.
But I find that poor people say that.
Well, I am a poor person, but
Poor healthy people say that. And that is like sending a
I'm
message.
neither.
Well, here's the whole thing. I think I'm in that category. See, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because wealth is relative, and so and quite frankly, so is health when you reach a certain age.
Right.
Do you know what you kind of know what I'm talking about, Larry? Because you've had some challenges, right?
He's still on the phone.
And I've had some challenges, Leonard. So Leonard,
Yes.
you said so. Do you understand what I'm saying by that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So when you reach a certain age, for example, you start kind of ignoring certain things about your health, especially like the small aches and pains that probably would have, because that if you were to go to the doctor and and tell the doctor that you're suffering from these small aches and pains, the first thing that they say basically, or they have to me in the past, is, well, you're getting a little bit older, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So now I had a friend, right, who goes to the doctor. Doctor, I'm suffering from my age, around 65. Goes to the doctor and says, Doctor, I'm suffering from these aches and pains when I get out of bed in the morning. Oh, it sounds to me like you got a little problem with sciatica. That happens due to your age, right? And they minimize, so they send you home. They say, well, we could send you over to pain management, or you could try using Advil, and you could build up to the opioids, if the pain worsens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have a whole
You can
scheme
handle. You
that
can take care of all that pain management with diet.
Well, yeah. Yes, that's a good point. That is an excellent point.
And in
So,
fact, you're delving into that very diet right now.
right.
Or you were till you fell off the wagon. But it's an easy wagon to get back on, so you'll be all right.
Yeah. So, yeah. But here's the whole thing, right? So my friend, he gets this old man treatment.
Yeah.
Take a few painkillers and call me in the morning,
Right.
right? if things don't improve, we'll send you over to pain management. But no, the first thought is not to run them through the machine.
No.
You know, the machine is like the coffin, right?
Right. Don't run it through the MRI to find out what's really wrong.
Yeah, they don't. The first thought is not to run you through that. So, the pain does not subside, right? The pain does not subside. Are you there? You there, Larry?
You got.
Yeah, I'm back. What's going on? What's going on is, well, you all know. I've told most of you. Most of you know my mom's 97.
Yeah.
She had a bad day today. She went to sleep a little after 8 o'clock this morning after they got her up, and they couldn't wake her back up. Her blood pressure dropped real low.
Oh, dang.
That's not good.
No, but she woke up later on and she had a little bit to eat. So I'm waiting to find out how it's going to go. That's a call from a friend of mine who one of my sisters called her. So she called me and gave me some update.
Right.
So I may have to jump tomorrow. I may have to jump and head to Terre Haute. I don't know yet. My little sister's supposed to let me know tomorrow. So like I said, my whole day, almost my whole day today after I found out, was just sitting around the apartment waiting to hear more.
Right.
And originally I was getting ready to jump that day, and then they told me she got a little bit better. So I was planning on jumping tomorrow, but now I'm going to wait till tomorrow, find out a little bit more. And if I got to jump, I'm jumping tomorrow in the afternoon, and I'll be in Terre Haute on Thursday. But,
yeah.
Prayers everybody for Larry's mom.
Absolutely.
And by the way, so it does remind me, or actually, it's interesting, you know, that the timing of it all, talking about the health versus the wealth. So the thing is that yes, I can understand how people can view health as being more important or equally important to wealth. But ideally, you want to have both health and wealth.
Right.
I mean, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, one thing
And
to remember.
Be healthy and wealthy, friends.
Right.
Be healthy and wealthy, friends. Des is in the house.
Because one thing to remember is having wealth doesn't do you much good if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it.
Yeah, and so I continue on with the story about my friend whose arthritic pain or whatever they wanted to call it. What did I say they called it? The shooting pain down the leg, sciatica, didn't improve. And so my friend goes down to pain management, and they start my friend describes the pain to the pain management doctor, and the doctor says, wait a minute, tell me the story again. And so he actually is interested in listening to him describe the pain, where his general practitioner, wasn't so interested in hearing it, because he's got to see like a patient every 20 minutes,
right?
And so he doesn't have a whole lot of time. Oh yeah, this sounds age related, but he goes to the pain management doctor and he explains the type of pain again. And the doctor's saying, "Oh man," I go, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and check with your primary care physician. I think we need to make a referral over to have an MRI and a CT scan done. It's something doesn't sound right."
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I really like CT scans. They show you a lot.
So the doctors,
they show me I wasn't crazy.
Generally, if a doctor, even if it's a pain management doctor, doesn't matter. Generally, if a doctor is making a recommendation to another doctor, they generally will accept and say, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." "Oh, he did? He told you what?" "Yeah, let's go ahead and make the referral."
Right.
And then very, very rarely do they say, "Nah, he's just old. He's an old man, and how many good years does he have left?"
All those other doctors want to get their cut too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And so he goes over and they do the MRI. Anyway,
No, you
I'll
lost
keep.
your picture. We got
Yeah,
the jelly bean.
I'll keep talking while I'm trying to figure that out. Now it's my
Now
turn.
You're
Oh, there
back
it is.
up.
Now you're
But,
back.
all right. So anyway, he goes over there. They do that, and they call him with the bad news. They call him and say, "Oh, so sorry to have to tell you this, but we did find something. We found a golf ball sized tumor on your pancreas." Right.
Which
So,
shouldn't affect his leg or his back, but
well, I suppose, I mean, the human body is a complicated animal.
that's true.
Well,
You know what I
talking
mean?
about pain, my father had a gum disease, and how he found out his feet were hurting him. And he went to the doctor. They checked him out, and it turned out it was his teeth that were
Yeah.
bad. And his teeth looked good. I mean, they didn't have any cavities, but somehow he got I guess, gum disease or something. And this is back. Oh hell, I don't remember my dad not having not having no teeth. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, this is back in the 40s or 50s,
Right.
and they had to pull his teeth, and that cleared up his other trouble.
Well, they'll find your feet do have a lot of uh, a lot of nerves and things, and they can detect problems with all different parts of your body and your feet, and also fix them by manipulating your
Hmm.
feet. I can't think
I
what they
didn't know
call
that.
that. Yeah, I can't think what they call that, but there's actually a science, and and I can't think what they call it, but a lot of chiropractors and massage therapists will do that, and your regular doctors won't because there's not enough money in it. But
Hey, while we're talking, I'm going to adjust my camera setting because I think I lost my.
I see you.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
can see
on
the top
my.
of your head too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on my laptop computer camera. It switched over. It switched me over from my
Oh.
remote camera here over to
Oh. Okay.
my laptop, and I see it. I say I lost a little bit of resolution and some light. But anyway, we'll just go with it. We'll run with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking okay. I'm not as handsome and definitely as debonair as I usually am, but
Hey,
we'll
you're
we'll
still
we'll
you're
run with
still
it.
more handsome, more debonair than myself. Okay.
Oh, you're a very handsome man. So are you, Leonard.
No,
So
thank you.
now let's carry on. So
We know
they
he's lying,
find it,
Leonard. I'm not
and
handsome. You are, but I'm not.
they
Yeah.
basically tell him that he's got an
Daisy
inoperable.
Lynn, how you doing?
Uh, Daisy Lynn is in the
Hey,
house.
Daisy. Nice to see you.
Are you going live this morning at 9 a.m.? I think she's going live this morning. Uh, anyway, they tell him he's got 6 months to live. It's an inoperable tumor, and so in 6 months he's gone. Now he just happened to be 65 years old, and some people would say they would probably say, "Hey, that's
That's a
65 is
nice life. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
it's okay,
No,
it's
we
all
know
right."
that. We know that.
No, it's not.
I'm
No,
sure when
Larry,
when
we
you're
know that.
69, Larry, 80 is looking pretty good. You know what I mean?
I'll be
I
70
mean,
this year. 90's
you
looking good.
Yeah.
you probably have a pretty good chance of making it to 80 or
Well, yeah, you
90.
got good longevity in your family, so
Well, like I
Yeah,
said, I've already
yeah,
outlived both my brothers and my dad. All right.
yeah. I mean, you're,
But I got three sisters that are older. One turns 80 this month.
right.
but
My
And
youngest
if
your
you
sister
fall
mom,
out
turns
your mom is
tomorrow,
still
62
alive,
this month.
if
right?
you
And your
fall out
mom's
tomorrow,
still
you
alive.
had a good run.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If you look at what I've done in my
So
past, I've had a good run, but I got a lot more to do. I'm sorry.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we all do, don't we all? Right? And
Let's none
so
of us get in a hurry.
Yeah.
so anyway, where
I
was
have
I
not
going?
quit working yet.
Michelle's
Talking
here.
about.
Michelle is here.
Oh yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
Michelle's been here
And
for. I'm
Risa.
sorry, I didn't point it out.
Risa's
Michelle's been here all day.
here. Hey, Risa, you have a nice family, Risa. You're very lucky. All right, so now, anyway, he's going on his way. It just so happens that he's done well in life. he has saved a few ducats, and so now, but he had a very, very small family, and he had already set up trust funds for his wife and his children. So now he's got this big pot of money, and he goes, doggone it. He says, I would like to see my name on a building somewhere. Because he says, oh, physically I can't be here, but I can have eternal life if I can fund a building for cancer research or something, right?
Yeah.
So I thought the whole thing was amusing. I mean, he actually was laughing when he was telling me the story. He's saying, what the hell, Dan, can you afford to have your name put up on a building? I said, well, I might be able to, but it won't be the kind of building that
what was it?
that you could have your name put on.
Damn. Try to turn him onto very low carb keto or carnivore diet.
Well, yeah. Of course, I mentioned that to him, but he gives me the look. He gives me the look. Yes, Dr. Dan.
Hey, there have been many, many, many people who have shrunken tumors, and some have even gone completely away.
Right, I know, and also it prolongs your life. It can prolong your life.
Yeah, he's only got 6 months. He can do it for 6 months.
Yeah, he can do it he probably could live a year, right? But it turns out that he laughs
maybe
at
6 years.
He laughs at me.
Yeah.
He started talking. He renamed me Dr. Dan, and then after that, the last 6 months of his life were spent putting together a trust or whatever they call it for one of the pancreatic cancer research centers. I don't think it materialized into his name going on a building. He didn't have that kind of dough, but I think he ended up getting the wing I think he ended up getting a bench or a hallway named after him. So there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I met a guy that was so rich, and this is no lie. Well, I'm going to lie to you. It was so rich, he bought a college's name.
Tim is cracking me up.
Can you imagine how much money that had to cost? He had a college change its name to include his name in it. Not a building.
A garden shed.
College.
We're going to build a garden shed in your honor, Tim.
And it'll be called Tim's Hideaway.
Oh, God.
And Tim, with that comment, did you ever see the Green Beret movie, John Wayne Green Beret?
Oh, I don't remember movies. I got to tell you, I got to tell you the truth. I cannot lie. I do not remember movies.
All right. There was a character in there that he kept looking around and sitting there like he's thinking about something. And John Wayne's character asked him, well, what are you doing? And he goes, well, you see all these people that, won medals and stuff. They got buildings or things named after him. He goes, I can't think of what would, go with my name that make it sing. And it was Pervy or Prevy or something like that. And so when he died, just before he died, he told John Wayne what he wanted. And it was Pervy's Prevy or something. And man, a bathroom was named after
Pervy's Privy.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, so the health or wealth. Now, see, I noticed this, Leonard, something that you said. I noticed this earlier. You said something that caught my attention. So you were saying if you don't have your health, then you don't have your wealth. Well, the truth of the matter is you may not be able to take advantage of the wealth, but I made a statement. I said that I realized how it sounded really bad when I said something like, I'm going to have to figure out a way to spend more money. And then I got a million emails saying, Dan, spend it here, spend it here, spend it here.
Well, if you're seriously going to throw it away, I'll take some.
I thought the whole thing was amusing, right? So you get where I'm going with this. In other words, he had already had everybody all set up. And then his next move was to either spend the money on himself, right? or do something with it. Do something with the money. Do something that would benefit someone else. And so he opted to do that. You
Well,
know,
Well, that's
to me,
but
it's
at
a
the
really
same
good option.
time,
well, he's
he said to me, "Damn, I wish I'd known I was only going to live to age 65. I would have had a hell of a good time with all the money that I'm now giving to the Cancer Research Center."
yeah. Well, I take it from that last few comments there that he's no longer with us.
No, he's no longer with us. He passed away a few months ago. I mean, my friends are dropping like flies right now. I really don't know why, because 65 is kind of
That's
like
rough.
middle age, you know? The guys that
That's
I grew up with, though, they're passing away left and right from all kind of different things. And none of them have gone from old age, just died and fell asleep, fell asleep and died. None of them have.
No.
And so, I mean, I suppose that the older you get, the more you are circling back in your life, thinking about things that have occurred in your past. And I think I'm going through that. And obviously, death is making me feel a little bit uncomfortable.
I guess I'm too young for that because I haven't had that happen yet.
Yeah, well, you may be, but I'm circling back thinking about, for example, and so are other people because I start getting emails. So are other people because I start getting email. Dan, I don't know if you remember me, but we ran together in cross country track in high school. What the hell are you talking about? But I'm respectful. I'm respectful, but because I started thinking about someone else must be going through the same thing. Someone else is going back, and in this case, they're apologizing for an event that occurred, something they said to me that was mean when we were kids. And something, I want to tell you guys something very, very strange. When I thought back about this, I realized that it had impacted my life. His statement actually had an effect on me growing up. Something that he said. And he realized that it could, and he decided to track me down and apologize for making the statement. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thanks a lot. I could have used you 40 years ago, my friend. Where were you 40 years ago?
By the way, Dan, it's you on me is saying hi to everybody.
Yeah, but all's well that ends well, as they say. By the way, have any of you gone to school with or known somebody that became super wealthy beyond even their wildest imagination? In other words, have any of you known someone? Because I do.
I've
And
known a couple.
one person who got rich beyond anything that it's so unimaginable. It's so unimaginable that it's so weird that this would happen. But when I go back and I think about him, I look at the type of guy that he was, and success was written all over him from such a young age. Grew up with this kid, right?
Yep.
And he's a developer in San Diego, multi-bazillionaire.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that is that wealthy.
Yeah,
But
it's weird.
I knew a couple of millionaires.
Oh no,
Well,
Risa, you have a premiere? Okay, you guys all have permission to jump over to Risa's premiere. And then once you're done, you bounce right back. Okay. Promise me. Go over, watch Risa's premiere, and then you guys can all come back. Every man repeats the story. Give them your phone number, Dan. I'm easy enough to find already. I'll tell you the truth. I'm easy enough to find already.
well, like I said, now I didn't go to school that rich. I was somebody that got that rich unexpectedly.
Yeah.
But that guy that paid to have the school named
Yeah.
after him, well, that was in my hometown.
Wow.
And I knew his grandkid. I knew some of his grandkids. My younger brother uh, was the same age as his grandson, who happens to be, his name's Tony George. I don't know what you know about the racing circuit. He's the one that owns and operates Indianapolis 500. That was his grandfather's, and
Right.
he's the president of the Indy Racing Car League. Well, he grew up and went to school in my hometown. My younger brother knew him. He had four gorgeous sisters, and they're all billionaires. So, yeah, like I said, that wasn't unexpected. Like I said, Grandpa had the money to pay a school to change their name from Rose Polytechnical Institute to Rose Hallman, uh, and then his grandmother had even more money than Grandpa. So,
Hey, Airbnb is in the house. Airbnb, are you dogging me over that review? I told you I wasn't going to review that place. I wasn't going to drop them down another star. It was a cockroach infested nightmare, Airbnb. Anyway, where was I? Oh, apparently that's Larry's friend.
who's that? No,
Airbnb.
I say hi to everybody that comes in for you, Dan.
Yeah, I try to, but I miss quite a few sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so now back to the story. So health or wealth. So when you say so when you choose one, health over wealth, then the universe accepts that as being your wish, and so you will be healthy. But at the same time, money is not money you will not have. So what you really want to do is you want to be both healthy and wealthy and wise, and you want to put that out into the universe so they know that that's what you want.
Yeah,
You
it didn't work
pray,
for me.
you make an affirmation, and you say, "I will be, I am," is a better way to say it. The pronoun I am healthy, wealthy, and wise, and then
Yeah,
you become.
yeah, I tried that and didn't work.
You ain't doing it right.
Now that might be right.
When I said healthy, wealthy, and wise, I said, you mean old, ugly, and dumb.
No, well, you see that is a great example of what I'm talking about right there, because my wife has pointed out to me many times, Sir Dan. Yeah, she calls me Sir Dan. Sir Dan.
You silly man.
Yeah, you can't even joke about the negative aspect of it, which of course, I do all the time. You can't even joke negatively about it because the universe does not know what a joke is, according to my wife. The universe does not
There
know that
may
you're
be something
joking.
to that.
Yeah. So anyway, not to get too heavy into it, but I'm just saying that towards the end, when I was getting close to retirement, within a year or two is what I mean. That's how I'm defining getting close. Then I started paying more and more attention to people who were talking about, especially successful people around me, who had said that even though, Dan, we have made several attempts because we like you, we care about you. Some might say we even love you. That we want you to discover what this true meaning of life is, health and wealth, and that they're tied together. They're tied together. They're one and the same. But your entire life, have acted like a poor person. And what is a poor person? What does that mean? And then they would tell me it's because, the way you pinch pennies, the way you buy cheap over quality, the way you buy new cars instead of used cars, the way you buy, and boom, it goes on and on and on. Right. But along with it, they also illustrated the good things that have happened. In other words, you have to go back and why were you successful the first time that you bought a home with no money down? What was the thing that caused that to happen? I said, number one was my belief that it could happen. They go, need I say more? Need I say more? And so if you go back, Larry, you're very good about this next thing this next point I'm going to make, because you have watched every single one of my videos.
Yes.
I went back because of you. I went back and I watched every single one of my videos, and guess what I discovered, my friend?
What was that?
From the very beginning, you could see the entire evolution of me going from poor to rich, and I publicly displayed it in the videos, each and every step of the way. I documented it, and I did not even realize that I was doing it.
Well, what was happening without you realizing it, and I'll tell you the truth, I watched it happen, but I wasn't really realizing what was going on. I'll be honest with you.
Right, and neither was I. That's you and me both.
Yeah,
you and me both didn't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you started believing what you've been preaching.
You and me.
And that helped you change it. And is it just me, or is everybody else frozen?
That's our internet. That's the internet on our side. That's the internet on our side. So the grand experiment was whether this internet is able to support the bandwidth that it needs in order to use StreamYard, and it may not. I may have to change over to YouTube for the next live streams. We'll have to wait and see, because I mean, it just sucks the bandwidth, all the available bandwidth right out of the thing. So anyway,
that was the first time. That was the first time you froze up. And we've been going over an hour. We've been going over
I was surprised. I really was surprised. Knitband is in the house. Des has such a beautiful family.
Hey, Knitband.
All right, so
Charmaine.
Where was I? Oh, okay. So now I go back. So they say. So now when I started looking back at all these wonderful things, I'm talking about the wins, the big wins, When I landed that first job in government service, when I bought my first house with no money down, so here's another. I'm going to give you another example, and then I don't want to bore you because it's boring, right? But so the second time the second big event that occurred was I needed this when I decided to return back to school. I decided I was going to go straight through, finish up the bachelor's degree, finish up the master's degree. The reason why the master's degrees I thought was important is because it's become the starting off place for education in the United States, not all around the world, but maybe in Western societies it is. Because if you look in Europe, for example, getting a master's degree, you're only adding one more year of school. In the United States, you have to do two more years of school. Yep. So a lot of people, they get the bachelor's degree here, and then they go overseas to the UK, and they go to school there because it's cheaper, because you can wrap up a master's degree in 1 year. Well, in order to put this plan together, I needed a place to live where the rent, where it was reasonable, where it was near the university, and I couldn't figure out how to do this, except I saw a condominium for sale in an apartment project not too far from the school, but far enough away that it was not that much in demand. It was dirt cheap. So I don't have the credit backing, nor do I have the cash in order to make this thing happen. So, but I know that if I can get this thing for cheap, I'm going to have the next 6 years of hassle-free living, because I have enough money to buy food, but I wouldn't have enough money to pay rent, only if I had a fixed mortgage that I was paying. So I went to my sister and I said, well, I want to do this. And she said to me, well, what's the vision? What is your vision for this? The vision was the key word. I said, the vision is that this area where the house is located. Number one is to finish my education and to make sure I have fixed mortgage throughout the next 6 years. And then I imagine that because this condo is in such a depressed area, it's got to go up in value if people decide to come move in here and put money in improving these condos. But it's in such bad shape that there had been talk in the past about the city of Sacramento coming in and taking the properties under eminent domain. So I said one or two or three things is going to happen. And then once it does, we will sell the condo, take whatever profit there is after I'm done with school. And then I will return any money that you invested in terms of down payment or mortgage back to you. And she shook her head. And she goes, okay, let's do it. And so I was like, well, okay, all right. It all makes sense to me. She said, you have a vision for the future. It's all positive. It's all great. I think it's going to work. It's going to work. So we made it happen. Well, I think I was in I had gotten the county job. 6 years goes by. Everything went smoothly. I never had to go and bother my sister for money because the rents were being paid because I rented a room out to somebody else who was in a similar situation. And that rent payment was below the market value for the area, but it also paid the mortgage on the condo. So I didn't have to worry about going to my sister from day one and asking her for money in order to pay the mortgage. So then the 6 years flies by. I complete the master's program at Sac State, and then accept the position at Sacramento County. A few months after that go by, and I get this knock on the door. So I go to the door and I open it, and there is a woman standing there, and she's carrying a portfolio thing. And I go, yes, hi, I'm a contractor. I've been contracted by the city of Sacramento to make an offer on your condo. Oh, I've been waiting for you. Come on in. She comes on in and she sits down and she tells me, well, the city of Sacramento in the last city council meeting has instructed me as a contractor to go out and acquire as many homeowner occupied units as we possibly can, because we're gonna turn this into a redevelopment area. It's gonna go underneath the city umbrella. And we're gonna, and so here's how this would work. We have to abide by HUD rules. And so HUD is a government housing agency, yeah, which means that we have to make you whole, which means that we have to buy your place, but we can't offer you less money than it would cost in order to transplant you and buy a home in another area of similar value. Well, as soon as she said that, I said to her, in other words, you're making me rich, because there is no comparable condominium anywhere that I know of in Sacramento County where you can make me whole. And she goes, exactly. She just smiled. Exactly. You're a quick learner. But we did come up with one that's close. That's very, very close. And then she showed me the unit that they want to buy for me and move me into. So I say, wait a minute, I got to make a phone call, because there's somebody that you should meet who she's going to believe this is happening, but she still probably is going to be shocked. And so I called my sister up and I said, I think you need to come over. We're going to need you here. And so she comes over and she walks in and she's looking at the woman and she's looking at all the paperwork on the coffee table. She's looking up at me, and I just have this great big smile on my face. And my sister just shakes her head. And without saying a word, she goes, where is it that we need to sign? And the gal is kind of like, she's a little surprised, a representative from the city, but she goes, not that surprised. She goes, yeah. Well, I figured it wouldn't take too much convincing to get you to take this deal. And so what had happened was they had offered 4 times the value of the condo to make us whole under the government housing and urban development rules for the transplanting to another location. But there were rules attached to it. So basically it was, in order to take advantage of the money, I had so many days in order to find a new house. And then once I found the new home that I wanted to buy, they would take the money and put it into escrow. So the only thing my sister and I had to work out was how I get my money back out of this deal. I said, how you get your money back is once I find the house and we make the purchase and the deal closes, on the day that it closes, I will wrap a first and second mortgage. And so the second mortgage is going to be your buyout share of the sale. And she goes, oh, it sounds great. Sounds like you have the whole thing worked out. I said, I do. So it took me only a few days of running up the hill to, well, it's not too far where Knitman lives, quite frankly. It was up in the hills, in El Dorado Hills. It's kind of in that ritzy neighborhood. I was able to find a condo that I was able to put into escrow with a very, very small down payment, telling them that the city of Sacramento has given me a voucher to give to you guys. And it was kind of weird because it was the first time they'd ever seen. They kept looking at it and reading it and making phone calls to make sure it was actual.
That you weren't trying to rip them off. Yeah.
Yeah, that it was actual cash. And once they got all those details worked out, they just put the thing into escrow. It only took a day or two, and everything happened. And then I went out and I secured the first and second mortgage, and everything happened exactly the way that it happened the way that I envisioned it. Yeah, well, so later after the transaction's complete, I'm walking away with part of the second is cash in my pocket also. I think I walked away with $70,000 or $80,000 out of this deal. And I'm going to my sister's house to pay her her share of the original deal. And as I'm walking through the door, my sister's looking at me and she's kind of going, she's got a smile on her face. And she goes, you see, I told you. I told you. I said, I told you. She goes, no, I told you. I said, so from day one, you should have listened to me about how the world works and how your entire life changed. But it would have changed a hell of a lot sooner had you just accepted what I had to say to you with undeniable truth. And that is that if you can imagine it, and you share it with other people, then these events will actually occur in your life.
And you said your sister told you that.
My sister tried to tell me that, had been trying to tell me this for years. Every time I would go with her and she would be making a charitable donation, every time I'd be with her and she was handing out food to the homeless, every time I was with her and she was participating in some kind of community event that benefited others, she would have this talk with me saying, this is really the way the world works. And the longer that you take in accepting it, the longer it will take for you to accumulate all the things that you desire. And in this case, it's health and wealth. And so in the tail end, the last 2 years prior to retirement, when I'm looking at my balance sheets, I'm looking in that $457K, considering how much money I had saved, and I'm looking at an insurmountable amount of debt. I finally came to the conclusion I had only one choice, one way of making this happen, hitting the retirement deadline. And that was that I had to be, number one, debt-free. And that was not going to happen by itself. I had to assume that it was going to occur. At the very time this was happening, COVID hit, and the rest is history. COVID hit. They sent everybody home and said work from home, and people had no home to work from, and so they had to go out and they had to buy one, which means that they had to buy my house. And so the current one that I was living in had doubled in value by the time that I sold it. And so we were able to take that money and apply some of it, I would say 20% of the proceeds of the money in our pocket.
Hey, hello.
So that's the story. And then I realized that, well, I couldn't possibly live the life that I want to lead in the United States. And that's how we started putting together the program to move to the Philippines. I couldn't possibly get the enjoyment out of life.
I'll tell you, if I'd listened to my
somebody's saying something here.
Sister, I'd be a lot better off.
Nitban. Oh, but Nitban, you know what it's like in that neighborhood now. They're shooting at each other in the middle of the night. You know, that whole area right there, Oakland owns. It's like they moved the city of Oakland over there into that area right there by the old Kings Arena. Yeah, so Nitban knows this. Things change, you know. Things change. Yeah, they change rapidly. Anyway, so that's the story, and I've been practicing that. So what I realized that when I was too tight-fisted, it stopped the flow of money coming into my hand. That's a way of simplifying it. So when I wasn't giving it away, then the money wasn't coming to me. And now these days, as I share more than I ever have in my life, then the money keeps coming towards me, and it's just what I consider to be a simple law of nature. So, Pinky, is Pinky here? Is Pinky great here?
Is.
Yes, that's something I wish I had learned a long time ago.
But for some reason, that wisdom of doing that doesn't really hit us until later on in life. Even people around us are trying to share the news with us,
that's one thing.
sister.
I didn't have anybody sharing that with me.
Well, I actually, my three older sisters are all much better with money than myself. My third of the oldest sisters, actually my second oldest sister's probably the best with money, but she made the least of the three. But all of them, was like, watch what you spend, put some money aside, do this, do that. And I never listened to them. My brothers, my father, and I were all very poor with money.
Yeah.
So my mom handled the money for the house.
My dad was also.
See, I don't view it the same way, Larry. I got to tell you, you're way too hard on yourself about this. Have you ever heard this? Have you heard the slogan that money makes the world go round?
Yeah.
See, you never know who has benefited from the spending of your money. That is also an equally important point. And and you're way too hard on yourself at times. It has no it's shaping you for your future. The experience is shaping you for your future. But the way that
I'm not saying the experiences. I got to be broke so I can have those experiences. And
you're not
going to change those experiences. Well, I'm talking about broke compared to where I would like to be. Is what I'm talking about. I would like to be retired right now, but I'm too broke to do it. But like I said, without those experiences, I would look back at my life and probably think, I didn't do much. I've enjoyed what I've done.
There's something to that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been to 3 of the major cities in Canada. I've been to Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. I went to China on vacation for 3 weeks. I've been to Mexico a few times, and I travel around my area, the East Coast area for vacation and stuff. And when I still lived in Indiana, I was going to Chicago, Indianapolis, and places like that on some times off and doing things.
Yeah.
So I had, but I did. There was times where I would have to say I actually wasted money, but nobody forced me to. Dating somebody or not dating somebody, I did not spend a dime that I didn't want to spend.
Yeah.
So I
Oh, the
don't.
Philippine consulate, Nipan, that's the Mexican consulate is around the corner. The Philippine doesn't have a consulate in Sacramento. You have to go to San Francisco.
Well, man, I've spent so much money, especially when I was in the Navy, drinking.
Party on, bro. That's exactly what you should have been doing.
Drinking and going out to eat that I could have bought a house in San Diego, California and had it paid for. That's the kind of money I spent in the 5 years I was actually in San Diego. I
Yeah.
spent that kind of money. I could have bought a home in San Diego, had it paid for, and now you know what it'd be worth a lot of money now. But I could have
But
bought
the whole point is there's still plenty of opportunity. There's still plenty of opportunity in accepting.
Right, Crystal.
Yeah, and so it's not over until it's over.
No. No, like I said, right now I'm trying to. I got a how shall I say it, a plan laid out. Now it's scheduled to change as needed. Like I said, if I have to go back to Terre Haute, I'm going to have to put it on my credit cards right now. Either that or pay a lot less money on my credit cards. It all depends on how it falls. So it may take me just a little bit longer to get a couple of bills paid off. Now the one bill is going to be paid off in 2 months, come heck or high water. It's just that's the way it's set up. I have nothing to do with it. I got auto pay on that, and it's not going to change. Now, how much I pay on 2 of the other bills, I choose how much to pay. I overpay so I can pay them off quicker. But if I have to, I can underpay, which means it'll take me longer to pay it off.
Right, you already have your plan for success in progress.
I said, it took me a long time to do it, but yeah, I got it. But then I want to keep working for a few more years to save up some money. Because, no matter where I live, whether I stay here in the States, whether I go to Mexico or the Philippines, which I would prefer the Philippines, let's be honest about it. I would prefer going to the Philippines.
Well,
but I also got to take my health in consideration at that time when I'm ready to go. And the cost of living. Will I be able to afford the Philippines at that time?
I'm going to say you will be able to afford the Philippines better than Mexico.
I think so, but like I say, I can't guarantee that.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen to Social Security.
Right.
They may cut our Social Security.
By the way, you had mentioned, Larry, that this apartment that we're at would be in your price range.
Oh yeah, it'd be.
But
yeah,
I just would like to point out that it's in the higher, that the $240 or equivalent is at the higher end of what the apartments are costing in this area.
Yeah, but
so
I'm looking at maybe 5 years from now too.
Yeah.
I got to get my bills paid off. And that's going to be almost 2 years, and I want to at least work 3 years beyond that. Maybe not. I might decide to heck with it. I'm ready to go. I got enough. I'm gone. But I'm thinking about 3 more years. So I'm thinking about working until I'm about 75 and then calling it. And then jumping to wherever I'm going. It's going to be warmer.
Tim is saying last year when he was young, he spent all his money on women and alcohol.
The rest he wasted.
And the rest he wasted. I see no problem with that, though. I see. I'm not.
That's what I did in my younger age.
I don't see any problem with that. Actually, I'm not even talking about. You can do whatever it is that you want. So why is this important? Because it's just not a phenomena that happens in the West, folks, friends, family that are listening. If you're in the Philippines, you're going to see tremendous economic growth in the Philippines, which is going to open the door to enormous possibilities. Your job there is to be open-minded enough to be able to recognize the opportunity when it comes your way. And so all you youngsters that are here in the chat, you have a tremendous future. You have a tremendous future. I kind of wish that I were you. I mean, look at the way they handle healthcare. I mean, I have a friend, that guy in the bus in one of the videos. Did you guys see one of the videos when we get on the jeepney and
Is
Minnie
that the
runs
guy
it?
sitting next to Minnie?
Was her cousin.
Okay, yeah. I think you said
Well,
that in the video.
less than 2 years ago, he was on a dialysis machine. In other words, he was not expected to live longer than 6 months. And then in the Philippines, they have this way of handling things through diet.
Okay.
And so all he did was he switched over. They couldn't afford dialysis forever.
No, that's.
Oh, about
Hey,
time is in the house. It's about time. It's about space. It's about time
to suck
to
you in
have
the
your
face.
face.
I got my hat.
Welcome.
I figured I could get in.
Oh yeah, welcome.
You could have came in without a hat. We don't make Leonard wear one.
No, I don't have one anymore. I got to get one.
Well, I went and looked yesterday, because like I said, today I didn't go anywhere. They got a place here called Boot Barn.
Yeah, they got
back
those
home
here
is
too.
Boot City, and that's where I bought my black hat. Was at Boot City. This one I got through Amazon, but I want one that doesn't have quite all these holes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is pretty well ventilated.
Hey,
Well,
folks,
I find the
by the
ventilation.
way,
I get the skin cancer spots, the pre-cancer spots, and so
Yeah.
I want a little more protection from the sun. Because I actually like this hat, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't give me enough protection.
the
Hey,
hat
if
looks
you're-
nice. It looks nice.
if you're in the Philippines, I have some advice for you, folks. Stay away from the tube of wine unless you're the one making it. Stay away. If you're the one making the tube of wine, you're cool because you know what's in there. But if you're not standing there watching somebody make it, or you're not making it yourself, don't be drinking the tube of wine.
I'm not going to
It could
drink
be
tube of
anything.
wine. You
I'm
can
not
forget
either.
that. I will drink the San Miguel. Might try the Red Horse. Never had it. San Miguel Painted Label was my beer when I was in the Philippines.
Yeah. You should really. I mean,
I need to
because
find what they call a beer of the world. Beers of the world. It's a place that sells nothing but beer, and they get beer from all over the world.
they
That's
might
why
have
beers of the
a couple
world.
hundred different kinds of beer. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're quite large when they have them. They're a very large place.
Right.
I need to find one of those. Maybe grab a 6-pack or 2 of the San Miguel. I haven't had a San Miguel since I left San Diego. And you know how many years that's been?
Are you saying you haven't been thirsty?
No, I didn't say I did.
He's
drink.
been thirsty. He just drinks something else.
Yeah, I'm out here on the East Coast. We drink LeBlanc's Blue or Molson. LeBlanc's
You
Blue
touch
is
that.
really
You
good.
touch that coconut wine net ban, and you're taking your hands into your own life. So anyway, I'll tell you what happened. So this kid, Minnie's cousin, on dialysis, right? For step number 1, stop drinking the coconut wine.
Right.
Step 1.
I don't know. That sounds good to me. I might try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So he puts that away. And he goes to the herbalist, and then all of a sudden he starts getting better. He had a couple of sessions of dialysis, but and he rusted. He was hanging out with a bunch of wild characters that just loved to drink that coconut wine. And so he started to heal. He started to get better. And then you saw a smiling face on the Jeep. Everyone's related to Minnie in this town, by the way.
Well, in the Philippines, in certain barangays, that's pretty much the case.
Yeah.
You got to remember the families stay close. Plus, also, it's an island nation, so for many generations, you didn't go, but maybe an island away.
If that.
Yeah, I said maybe an island away.
Yeah.
So you might go from one end of the island to the other is a little more likely. So pretty much everybody on the same island eventually. Now it may not be close cousins, but eventually almost everybody's related. But hopefully there's enough people that the relationships are not so close, where you couldn't
Yeah.
marry a cousin, because you're like fifth generation, away. You can't marry a first or second cousin, but I don't know what the laws are or
I don't
genetics.
know. I got some sexy cousins.
I did too, but they were too closely related. But there was some that weren't.
Yeah. There was.
You
They
know,
lived
it's
farther
funny.
away.
You know, it's funny. We talk about that, but true story. When I was a youngster, and you probably all can agree with me, a young man. You know what I mean? Young man. I'm sorry, a child.
Yeah,
I
teenager.
was attracted to a couple of my cousins. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beauty. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was the
Well, I
looks,
used to tell
the
everybody.
built.
Yep. I used to tell everybody the reason I left Sandpoint the first time was because I couldn't find a good-looking woman who wasn't a cousin.
I like it.
But well, the best looking cousin I had, in my opinion, was my cousin Linda, who she died before she was 21, but she was blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm attracted. I'm attracted to brunettes with brown eyes, but she was very attractive. She was only a year younger than me. I was 21 when she passed away. She passed away just before Christmas, so it was really tough on her family after that for Christmas.
Right. Yo, we all have our
would-
attraction, but all women are beautiful. All women.
Like I said, I happened to be in Yokosuka, Japan when she passed away, so I couldn't go home for the funeral. But when I was home earlier, before she died, she was in remission. She had leukemia, and she was in remission, in good spirits, and we got to spend a lot of time running around together. She
Nip and Crystals are having so much fun in the chat. Oh man!
But anyway, like I said, she married one of my best friends from the Navy days, and I was the best man. And my cousin George was a groomsman. And now, to freak everybody out, after the wedding, we went into Burger King and
Yo,
ordered
I'm glad you said.
Whoppers.
I thought you were gonna say like we went into a threesome.
We went into a Burger King in tux and ordered Whoppers. Wearing our tuxes for the wedding.
Yo, I had my limo take me to 7-Eleven to get a pack of cigarettes.
Now, back in those days, I still smoked. So, yeah, I quit smoking 24 years ago now. But I smoked for
my
27.
my dad didn't raise no quitter.
My dad did.
Apparently. No, good for you. Good for you, man.
It was the hardest thing I ever did was quit smoking, but I quit smoking. But now my dad didn't raise any fools not to look at good-looking women. Now when
That's
my dad was in the hospital dying, he was telling me all about these good-looking nurses on night shift. Naturally, I couldn't get in there at night.
Right.
Right. That's why they put all the good-looking women at night.
But anyway,
Well, no, when I was in the hospital.
He always told me before he was sick that he says, just because I'm on a diet don't mean I can't look at the menu.
Yep.
And I'm going to look till I either go blind or die. And I'm a firm believer he looked till he died.
Yep.
There you go. Man, I want none of that tapioca, none of that rice pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would rather die out here than in there, man. No lie.
I'd rather die where it's warm. You know?
You and me both.
Yep.
But
but things are changing. Things are changing. You hear Steve talking about it all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to discourage people from coming.
I don't think he is.
Well,
No, I do.
you're
because-
saying
Did you watch
because-
his latest video?
Yeah,
He's
I
talking
watched
about how you can still get these $70 apartments
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
they're in Tracy
so he-
Martera's and stuff. Yeah,
he
So
did.
he's telling you that
Yeah.
it's still affordable. So I mean, I think there was a time where he was trying to say, "Don't come unless you got $2,000," but he's changed
Yeah.
his mind.
well,
And
he's
he's
still
saying,
talking about that 2,000 to 3,000.
Oh yeah, he's still calling that the sweet spot, but he's admitting that hey, if your lifestyle
The
is
sweet
affordable-
spot. I mean,
he calls it like $2,000 to $3,000, the sweet spot budget.
folks,
Right.
that's an enormous amount of money. I just got to tell you, that's
I
an
know, but
enormous.
that's what he
amount of
calls the sweet.
That's
You got to
what-
remember.
Sweet
That's what I'm
spot.
hoping.
It's crazy money. That's crazy money.
Yeah,
Well, he has, according to him, he has more money than that coming in,
yeah.
and he hasn't got his Social Security yet.
No,
But he's got his retirement from the school.
he's
You
got
know,
two municipal retirements, I think,
Yeah, I think he's got 2 municipal retirements from,
and
and then he's got money that
something
invested.
else.
Plus, then he also has money coming in from his channel.
yeah,
He does make money. You know, he doesn't put anything up where you can donate money or anything, but he gets the money from the commercials, and he makes enough money off the commercials.
yeah.
It
He
puts
makes
him
a lot
above
on his AdSense.
on his AdSense. He makes that pushes him over the sweet spot budget.
Right.
But I want to say the way
But
he
then-
wants to live.
Yeah,
He
and
had
and
the- he had the
also,
girlfriend.
you know, he's
and-
paying for 3 apartments,
Yeah,
and
and paying for
I don't-
college for his girlfriend's daughter.
right.
I don't know if he's still paying for that, being they're breaking up. He
Yeah, I don't
probably
know how
is.
that's going to work out, but
I think she's close. If I was him,
I know
I'd
how
go
it's
ahead.
going to work out.
He's
It's not
live
going to
with
end
her.
well for anyone.
Yeah.
But anyway, he kept the apartment. The
yeah,
the
yeah. She let him keep
ex-girlfriend
the
somewhere
apartment. He
else.
said,
He got the apartment. But
That's the only. Hey, that's one of the downsides of YouTube when you go on there and you put your entire life,
yeah,
you know, on your channel for everybody to see, and then something like that happens.
well,
What are you
right
gonna
now,
do?
I put my entire life on the channel, on mine. But there's not much to put on there.
yeah.
Snap.
No,
I mean, look at
Right.
Roman Hogan, how he broke up with Mel Jean, and
they even had a channel they shared together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, so
You know, every marriage is the beginning of divorce. You know that, right?
Well, yeah.
no,
All divorces
I've
start
never
with
been married, so I
right?
don't know that.
Well, take it from me. The marriage is the beginning of divorce.
Well, you know
First
the
step
major
of
cause of divorce, don't you?
Marriage. Yep.
Well, that is the Western way, though. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's
Uh,
one of the main reasons why I think 70% of all marriages end in divorce is because it's too damn easy to get a divorce.
Well, a lot of times I think, especially in the Western country,
Well, all I'm talking about
is that people enter the marriage thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just get a divorce. So they enter the marriage already thinking.
let me
that,
see.
hey,
Let me see if I can get Ma'am Minnie to come over and say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah, get her to brighten up the channel.
Yeah.
Hello, Minnie.
Hi, Minnie.
Hi.
There she is.
How are you?
About time live.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing good, good. How are you guys?
We're
So
alive.
how do you like the apartment? How do you like the apartment?
I like it.
She loves it. Whoa, home run.
All right.
Guys.
Well, I'm glad Eleanor was able to hook you up.
Yeah, she sure was. We're gonna give her a call later on
You
today.
guys will come
Great.
here.
Uh huh.
This
What?
condo.
Yeah.
What, you want to have a party? We can have a party.
We'll see. We'll see in a few
See
minutes.
you later.
Yeah, Eleanor did a good job. She's like a pit bull on a pork chop. I'm telling you. She will not let it go. She will not let it go until the job is done.
I was pretty sure she
I'm
would be
gonna
work hard
tell
at
you
it.
the way I think it is. If I ever get married, she better be good with money because I'm lousy with it.
Oh, well.
And,
Let
I'm
me
just
tell
being
you, if you get
honest.
married to a Filipina, she is the one that's going to be handling the
Yeah.
money anyway. So.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say,
guarantee.
you get
It's like,
married,
all right,
you get married
woman's
to an
on money.
American woman, you ain't gonna have no money.
That's right. That's right.
That's the truth too.
She'll have no my money. She'll just take all of it and spend it on.
She'll be real good with money. Your
Oh
money.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, my grandmother, my mom's mom, she used to say that Grandpa's money was her money, and her money was her money.
Yep.
Yeah, similar
That's the
thing.
American way.
Yeah, one of my first girlfriends, like in high school, junior high school, I was with her all throughout. And her mother would say to her husband, "What's yours is mine, what's mine is mine, and what's ours is mine."
Yeah.
And that's a fact in America.
Well, you know, it's so hard for women to get out and make a living these days.
Right. Most of them make more than we do.
Oh, I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Well, it depends on the woman. Some women do make more money than some men, and some
Well,
women make more money than some men because they get half the man's money.
but folks, you can see this happening in the Philippines that the women are becoming the breadwinners of the family. So they're hopping right over manufacturing and they're going to service-oriented economy. So all the great jobs in the Philippines are working at Jollibee and McDonald's and
I hear you there, but it's because that's the work. The girls have them job availabilities. The men don't. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, some of the jobs are because
You're
the
not
women
wrong.
are better educated than the men.
Right.
And some
There's
jobs,
a lot of that.
there's a lot of college
they
educated
require
women.
they
And some of
require
these,
they
even the
require a
starting level.
bachelor's degree for a sales clerk.
That's right. In a lot of places they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of places, just to entry level, you got to have a bachelor's degree.
Yep.
And also some of them, because there's so many people, will say, well, you got to be young. You can't even
Right.
and but like
I want a woman that can grow some vegetables, cook, and go fishing with me. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's any Filipina. That's any Filipina in the world is going to do that for you.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
well, like I said,
Where are you at now?
I'm laying on my bed here in the USA.
No, that's what I meant. Where in the U.S. are you?
East Coast, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania's on my top 10 list of places to live if I ever have to come back.
Why would you live here?
Pennsylvania.
Cheap.
Why?
Cheap housing.
Okay, no, it's not. And okay, maybe compared to the West Coast, but it's friggin' freezing in here.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
I got a fire going right now. It's April. I have a fire going.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I was going to live somewhere cold, I'll stay right where I'm at.
Oh, you might.
Where you at, Larry?
I'm in New York.
You got a good deal where you're at.
I'm right outside of Albany. But in New York, if you make under a certain amount of money, which I would if I quit working, they will pay my rent. They will pay me money for food. They will pay this. They will, and my health care, my Medicare, they pay that.
All right, Larry, I'm moving in with you, bro.
I got a 1-bedroom and I'm not sharing a bed. not with you.
All right, folks. Well, we've gone a pretty good distance, so let's call it a live stream, and we've it worked out really well. Really happy. Had a good turnout in the chat.
Yeah.
The only froze once, Dan. That is it. Just the one time.
Yep.
All right, Dan, connect with me so I can join you again because you just randomly appeared on my live whatever.
Oh, that's great. That's great that I'm coming into the live feed. That I'm coming into the recommended feed.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Make sure you
Glad to hear it.
subscribe.
Yeah, I noticed. I started showing up in a lot of folks' feed, and so I mean that's got to be
Yeah.
great news.
Well,
So
here
we'll see
I'll
everybody
let y'all
later.
see.
And the winner. Oh yeah, I need to announce the winner of Donuts with Dan. 100 pesos to your G Cash account. Today's winner is Mildred.
Hey,
All right.
Mildred,
Congrats.
congrats again. In case I don't have it, PM me your GCash number, and I'll send that 100 pesos out today. Thanks everybody for coming to the live stream. Thanks for joining us about time.
NAMC just joined
No
us.
problem,
Sorry.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Hope to see you again.
All right,
Larry.
I plan on it.
Larry, lead us out, bro.
Yeah.
Lead us out.
I will in just a second.
Okay.
I want to say hi to
There were 7
NAMC.
Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers. Come on, Larry, you can do it.
No, I don't sing. Oh, I do.
Come on, Larry, you can do it.
Hang on.
He only does it an hour.
All right, everyone. Remember, be kind to each other. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. And as always, try to have fun. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Larry. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Larry.
Leonard.
Thank you,
One
Dan.
time. See you
Jumping
guys
out the
next
studio,
time.
guys, so
All
take
right.
care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.